This week's one of my favorite movies ever. We go to Cleveland, Ohio. We meet a young baseball player turned hard on his luck guy looking for help with the Italian Deli to fight gabagools. Okay, we both decided, even though I was heavily promoting my favorite movie idea we've had in a while, Harrison and I are going to do...
The Hustle is Weird.
I'm glad you remembered. I forgot the name.
From DSSOLVR. One of our favorites. Thanks to Josh for this check-in. So we're doing it. Hustle is Weird.
Great brewery, great beer name, and I don't think anybody knew this was coming. I think we're ready to go, right?
I know, we are, yes. Before we do, remember, like, subscribe, tell somebody about this. Tell one person this week about this podcast. Please.
That's good homework. That's good homework.
Right.
I'm John. I'm Harrison. Right. Now we're friends.
Right.
Tell your other friends about us.
Exactly. Yeah, now we all know each other. We're going to sit down and share some mozzarella, I think, in a minute or something. John's going to teach me a lot about Italy, maybe not. I'll take everything he says seriously, though, so...
It's all true. Everything I know was taught to me by my own grandmama.
Right. I believe it.
She was great, and I can't wait to hear Harrison's Italian accent. Please do it at least twice.
Oh, man.
Hey, what are you doing? You could have been kissing ladies' feet.
All right. Apologies in advance, but we're going to have some fun. Yeah, so let's... All right, so... Let's do this.
Okay, so The Hustle is Weird. When we were scrolling through the Fast Fives, I fell in love with this idea. The more Harrison dreamt it up, the more I wanted to just start making it into the feature right away. The rough idea was a kid gets burnt out on doing too much gig work and finds a job doing weird sort of gig work.
Right.
And then that job turned into doing gig work for Italians, and then all that kind of bled into what we're about to you tonight. Harrison, tell us about young Josh and his backstory a little bit, as kind of get the idea for who's going to be the main trigger puller.
That's right. So Josh, you're in the spotlight this week thanks to your check-in of this beer. So get ready to go on what will be some kind of ride. It's yet to be determined what the future holds. So here's kind of what I'm thinking about Josh. As you said, right, sure, he's burned out, and he's a 20-something, doesn't really matter. Did all the gig jobs out there. We can have fun running through that. But I think kind of before we do, a bit important piece of his backstory is Josh wasn't always stuck in kind of the hamster wheel of life that we all eventually get sucked into. Before he was a child, he was a kid, he had the whole world in front of him, and let's make him like a local kind of baseball star. I think let's not overthink it. And the whole town
super American kid,
right? Exactly. He could run more PF flyers. He could run faster and jump higher. Still has those PF flyers hanging in his closet. And
if you don't know what PF flyers are, you don't have to be old. Just go watch The Sandlot.
Right.
I guess you do have to be old to watch The Sandlot, but well, that's a great primer on why those shoes are special.
Yeah, you'll know everything you need to know, and wonder why you don't have a pair, and know why old people did, even though they have no soul support. Like they're horrible shoes. But they're cool. They were created at a time when nobody knew anything. But anyway, but marketing had just been born.
Yeah, before Michael Jordan signed a shoe deal and changed the world.
That's right. We can put insoles in these, In what? So he's a baseball star. It's a big deal. Small town they're in. Well, we could probably lay that out in a minute. Kind of what large city maybe they're right outside of or something. I feel like we do a lot of suburban movies, but that's fine. A lot of people live in suburbs.
I think it was fun to play with Jacksonville.
Yes, it
was a lot of fun. So
it was.
We talked about in one of the Fast Fives last when we were talking about The Emissary. I brought up Cleveland versus Cincinnati.
Baby, all right, okay.
And I don't which one, Cleveland or Cincinnati?
Let's do Cleveland.
I think Cleveland's great.
Let's do Cleveland, right outside of Cleveland.
Small town called Mentor.
Okay. Perfect.
Which is actually a pretty deep town, but it's like a suburb. That's a real city.
All right. We're in Mentor, Ohio right now. And yeah, it's like a big deal that he's really this good at baseball. Like, it's very clear the whole town is like, Josh is going places, and like the mayor shakes his hand. He gets right next to the mayor at the 4th of July parade every year, and his church blesses his glove and his baseball before the big game, and all this stuff. And the town's involved and behind Josh, and the big game happens, and they're about to win or something, and he's a pitcher, let's say. So he's with a pitcher, but he's like he'll hit today, and that's exciting. And they think if he can show these scouts in the audience that he can hit and pitch, forget it. All the roads paved with gold for you, Josh.
Our first MLB is going to play for the Indians or the Guardians.
Right. Exactly. The Cleveland baseball team. And and let's say hits a dinger, it's heading for the parking lot, starts running the bases, and just some fluke thing happens and blows out his knee. So like his baseball career ends in an instant, and that future that the whole town saw and was rooting for is gone.
Scouts don't want to pick you up with a bum knee.
That's right. Too risky. Plenty of other Mentor Ohios out there with Josh's, and then we can find the next Jose Canseco. I don't know many baseball people, so that'll be fun.
That's a good one. Yeah, Jose Canseco.
Baby Ruth. And so
I didn't know you were a huge baseball fan.
A huge candy bar fan.
Mickey Mantle, yeah.
And so, all right, so that's what we've got, and so maybe that even is how the movie starts, is the bright lights of this big game and stuff, and or the lead up to it, as he kind of clearly is a man about town. And so we jump forward 5 years or so, and we zoom in on Josh kind of hitting snooze for the 9th time. His phone's lighting up with like Instacart orders and Uber Eats orders and Uber, and he's working for Lyft. Like every app that we all have some job on, right? He's like trying to work all of them, and as happens when you fill your plate too much, he's just failing at all of them. And that could be a fun kind of montage that also would serve as like his past coming to haunt him, where he has to Instacart to some girl's house that he went to prom with, but she's married to the guy who owns the biggest tire store in town and has 9 kids, and she laughs at his face when he drops off.
Good to see you, Josh. Could you bring the oat milk next time?
Yeah, exactly right. Not forget, like you always do. Right. Love that. Where you can't have almonds as a nut-free house. You know that, he tried to kill my kids.
You used to love nuts.
That's right. I dated Sandy when she was a real person. Now she's nutless and heartless. And Uber is like the old high school quarterback who's drunk and throws up all over the back of Josh's car, making him feel shitty about you could never get the girl. I could get you a job on my sales team maybe if you call me on Monday. So his past is constantly haunting him. His life is horrible. Josh is really kind of hanging on by a thread. Really the only thing that's kind of keeping him going is his grandma, who's always been there, and even when his knee blew out and the town kind of forgot about him a little bit, his grandma was always there taking care of him, loves his grandma. But
love this. Grandma's boy. Grandma's been both of his parents for most of his life.
Yes, exactly.
And you just said but.
But, right. So there's got to be a but.
She's leaving to go to Vegas.
Right, exactly. She's had it with Josh as well. She's finally had it up to here. No, but let's have her be going through something like cancer.
Grandma cancer.
Yep, okay, grandma cancer. Huge hospital bills. They're stacking up. And so that's why Josh is doing all these jobs, not because he hates himself and, doesn't want to have any free time, because he kind of needs to. But again, like, it's not sustainable. It's catching up with him, and
she took care of him his whole life.
Right.
We don't have much now. She's on Social Security.
Right. I love this.
He's got to do whatever he can to try and help out his grandma now. Circle of life.
Circle of life. The filial piety, I think is what the Japanese call that.
Filial piety?
You take care of your parents as they get old, like they took care of you when you were young.
That's would be a Japanese
thing. It's a real thing.
It's not uncommon here in America either.
Right. We just put old people in a home and say, I'll see you at Christmas.
I don't have time to take off of work.
Right. Maybe I'll come back next week. Just make sure I'll count your bills.
I'll see you very soon. we're selling our house, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I have to sell the house. Of course, I need to buy a second one. Why? Okay. So anyway, Josh is not that guy. Tried to save his grandma. Tons of bills piling up. She's sick. She's trying to underplay it. All that stuff. And so he's kind of so all this stuff happens, and like, let's say he finally, has that break point one day where maybe his grandma gets another bill, or maybe she like falls in the house as you're taken to the hospital. Like something happens where he just wakes up even more pissed off than usual, and like throws the milk in Sandy's face and punches Derek in the face in the back of the Uber. He gets fired from all of his gig jobs like in a day.
Yep, 1-star reviews.
Just start deleting off his phone, and he's got a bunch of canned emails. Dear insert name here, you have been terminated. Maybe
we no longer need your services.
Right, exactly. Yep. Just down in the gutter. And so it could just be as simple as like, he's like just walking down the street. He's got, $5 left to his name, or $10 left to his name.
10 isn't going to get you anything.
Well, 15. Let's say 20. Or what year is it? So we present day.
Yeah, he's got a couple bucks from the gig work.
And I'm
maybe
thinking
one of the drunk guys left a 20 in the back of his car on accident.
There we go. Perfect. Yeah, Jerky Derek, his money clip fell out, so there's a little win. Someone's out there watching out for Josh. But he doesn't have a lot, so he's stumbling around trying to find some cheap dinner, and goes to like the local deli, and as he's walking by, he's hesitating, but then he sees in the window like, now hiring, like must be available but can work immediately or something like that. So he's like, all right, maybe I'll have some food and I can talk about getting a job, or maybe just talk about getting a job, and walks in is kind of like, this is my last ditch effort. And it could even be the end of the day of all the apps delete off his phone, and he goes to like the barber and the garbage company and this isn't a real resume, you're working for apps, these aren't real jobs, like you got nothing.
Have you ever cut hair before, kid?
Right, exactly right. You even know what hair is? Just failing again and again. Rolls the dice in the last spot and goes into this deli, and this is kind of where things start to change, and maybe he starts to see a path out. So
the deli, I like, is kind of Josh's Josh had a pretty bright future ahead of him. You can't blame grandma or his need for getting blown out in baseball. It's just situational. It happens to a lot of us.
Yeah.
It's not like he wants to stay in this like 9 to 5 paycheck to paycheck sort of thing, but he needs something now. And through this trail of like the barbershop saying, no, you don't have any skill, the car dealership saying we need some background in sales, we can't just hire you off the street.
Right.
And the deli, there's a little Italy in Cleveland that's like not even one block, I don't think. At least it was there in the early 2000s. It might still be there.
I hope so.
And so it's like a little Italian deli, family run, no HR, no 1099 forms or anything like that.
Just cash.
And exactly, like we're not, we don't even, we got like the credit card machine where you got to take swipe the carbon copy.
Right.
Which we don't use, just pay cash. And so he walks in and he kind of like does a little sign of the cross. He's like, I need this one. I need this one.
Right before he goes in, I love that.
And the guy's like, hey, what can I get you, pal? Well, actually, I saw you guys were hiring. I would love a sandwich. Maybe like I'll take the Italian meat trio if that's cool. But I'd love to get a resume, job application or something. He's like, we don't do applications here.
Right.
But you want a job, you talk to Paulie up front. You see the camera moves to like this old Italian man, like nice shoes on, sitting in the deli, cigar burning, reading the newspaper still at 4 p.m.
Right.
And he's like, I'll make you the sandwich, you go talk to Paulie. So he like skittishly nudges a chair a little bit, and he's like, excuse me, are you Paulie? And yeah, take a seat, kid, what can I do for you? So he's got to like have this like real time interview with Paul. He's like, I'm hoping I could get a job. I saw you guys were hiring. What do you know about sandwiches, kid? Well,
exactly. I delivered them for a while. Never made
seen
one in
a
my
lot
life.
of them. I love to eat them. I know they usually have two pieces of bread. Focaccia?
Right.
Is that a bread?
Right. And how about this as a little wrinkle here? Maybe he like bombs this interview, and it makes sense. He's had like a rough day, and he's tired, and he's not in the best headspace. He hasn't eaten all day. Like everything's kind of just going wrong. And this couple of the conversation with Paulie, and Paulie almost like waves him off, and he's like, "Hey, like take the sandwich to go. Like it's on us, but I need someone who's like able to do stuff." Move things, can work right away. It sounds like you got a lot going on and you need to figure some stuff out before you can help us. And as he's like kind of gets up to leave, maybe Paulie like looks at him one more time in the light and looks at the wall where there's just a row of pictures on it, is the case in many delis and cheesesteak shops and stuff of local or national celebrities. And then as Josh is standing up to walk out the door, Paulie like sticks his cane or his hand or whatever in front of him. He goes, wait a second. Are you that Josh? And points to the wall. And there's a picture of Josh as he's hit like the home run that tied the state record or whatever that's sitting on the wall. And he's like, you got to be kidding me! Like, you're that Josh.
I was that Josh.
Right. What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? You could have been kissing ladies' feet on Broadway, and you're here.
Yes, perfect. I love
stuck
Italian
in
Harrison is
Mentor
great.
land or whatever the fuck.
Harrisino.
And so, right, so he almost loses his job, but because he's Josh, now his past isn't haunting him. It's giving him a little bit of nudge.
Nice.
So essentially, he's going to be taking out garbage, but like, but it's a job and it's a step in the right direction. And sit down, tell us about what happened. And your knee, I remember. And so they maybe he sits, has the sandwich, things are okay, he gets the job. And so
show up tomorrow at 8.
Exactly.
We got deliveries coming. You're gonna work hard, kid. You're gonna have to put it away.
That's right. We work all day here.
We got a special cooler for the cheese. We got a special cooler for the meat.
Right.
What
Exactly.
do you do with vegetables? We don't have vegetables.
Yeah, what? Exactly. And you're gonna work all day, work all night. All night? Don't worry about that. You're working in the day.
We'll pay you, kid.
Right. We'll pay you
What
good.
do you
pay?
pay?
Right.
You come tomorrow, we'll pay you cash.
Right. Oh, okay.
Love
I
it.
love this.
No other options.
That's right.
But I love that, like his old baseball picture is what causes Paulie to think, like, you know what? All right, kid, maybe there's something in this. Let's give him a shot.
Exactly. So, all right, cool.
So then it's like it turns into The Bear from Hulu. No, it's but Josh shows up the next day. There's a couple old Italian guys. Everybody in this deli is like an old Italian guy.
100%.
Some of them are a lot older, but most all of them are old. They're all very like loud, bravado. But there's only one guy there in the morning, and he's like, "I've been waiting for you, kid. You got a lot of shipments to put away. We open up in an hour."
Okay.
So Josh gets to work. He's like, "Where's here? I put this stuff away." He's like, "All right, let me tell you about making sandwiches. You were right. It's 2 slices of bread, all the different stuff you put in there. Usually, the guys that come in are going to tell you, you know what gabagool." and Josh is just like,
excuse me,
starry-eyed.
Right, gabahoo.
I'll tell you what. You watch me work for a little bit. We'll see if you can keep up through lunch.
Okay.
So he goes through his first shift. Yep. Him and the Italian guy, or maybe they bond over baseball maybe a little bit because the Italian guy used to run numbers for baseball team. He's like, you ever make a lot of money on the Indians? Oh, I'm just kidding. No one has. So they have a little bit. I like you, kid. I think we got a future here. And he reaches into the register, grabs like $70, and he says, "You did good. I want to see you here tomorrow. We're going to work you pretty hard to see how things work out." Okay. And this kind of evolves. Yeah. Like you see Josh kind of grow where like maybe like 3 days later he's in there and he's like, "Do you want hot gabagool or sweet?" and the guy's like, "Yes." He's doing it.
It's happening.
What do you mean? So we only use a buffalo mozzarella. He's like, "Josh, you don't have to talk like that,
right,
man."
Exactly. Right. We know you're from Cleveland. You're from here. I love that. This is perfect. And so he's kind of learning the ropes, doing well, and maybe like as a little wrinkle though, into that first week, he like one of the other guys working there like sees Josh like acting maybe a little what looks like a little suspicious and like running out to essentially the back alley during his break and handing this tiny old woman who is his grandma like a bunch of money. So let's say grandma's out of the hospital, things are getting a little bit better, enough for her to come back home. And one of the other guys at the shop is like, hey, what are you doing, Josh? Like, you stealing from us? Like, what's happening here? Who is this? What's happening? And Josh is like, no, this is my money. I made it. I'm just giving it all to my grandma. Like, she's not doing too well, and like she's got the hospital bracelets on, and clearly like is not doing well. And so maybe Paulie sees this too, and they're like looking at each other and like, all right, just come back in here when you're done. I understand. And at the end of that night, or at the end of that shift, as Paulie's talking with some of the other guys, who mysteriously each night, so like Josh goes home and he's always the first to leave.
Yeah.
And the other guys are kind of hanging out there, eating another sandwich maybe, kind of sometimes getting pumped up that they're going to go box someone or something. Like it's kind of a
always
weird...
drinking coffee. They're always drinking
espresso at the end of the day. Josh, again, he's just tired, doesn't think much of it at the time, but... And so that nugget's been planted there. But yeah, so they're kind of getting together and they're talking. At the end of that day, Paulie maybe approaches him and is like, hey, Josh, you need more money.
No, you can do better than that. How to speak Italian? Get angry.
Exactly. I don't think I can, John. But
a bippity kid, a bippity bopper kid, come here talking to you for
getting
dinner.
more Italian by the second. Basically offers him a better opportunity of like, if you want to work late, like if you want to, we have jobs after the deli closes too. And immediately Josh is like, oh God, these guys, like, what am I committing to here? Like, love these folks, but his mind, for whatever reason, is just like, mafia? Am I going to be doing illegal stuff?
Everybody's mind goes when you're
of course
saying mozzarella and you're
right.
at a deli and there's old Italian guys, of course.
Right.
And I like this idea. Maybe Paulie, he's like, I heard about your grandma. We could put a word in at the clinic, at the Cleveland clinic.
Okay.
We got some doctors there. Maybe we could do something that would help her out. Mm-hmm. But, if you're looking to earn some extra money, I know you used to do deliveries and stuff. He's like, at the end of the night, like come back here around like 10, 11 o'clock at night. We get our delivery van gets filled up with all these rugs.
Yes.
And sometimes it's easier for us because by then it's late in the day. We got families. If you could just make these rugs disappear for us so they're not here anymore,
right.
Then we pay you some extra money for that.
Yeah, twice what you're making during the day, right?
And
all you got to do is take them. Yeah.
That's probably enough to like tip Josh where he's like twice him. Okay, all I have to do is make rugs disappear. What are we doing with these rugs? He's like, we got a spot in town. There's there's a warehouse that my brother runs.
Okay,
we need you to just drive the van over to the warehouse and help the guys there unload these rugs. We do rugs where we pick up. People don't want these rugs anymore. We pick them up. Sometimes they're heavy. You take them into the warehouse. Say nothing. Right. Get in the van, bring it back here. Boom. You come to work the next day. You got a little extra money.
And how about this? Instead, at the end, he's like, actually, we pay up front for this, so I'll give you the money now before you even do the gig tonight, so you can give it to your grandma. Because these gigs are get a little rough. But so he gets the money and it's like, all right, grandma, great. Like, call the hospital. Like, they can have the equipment at the house now. Like, we got a way out. We got a way to have you be home, but get the treatment you need. Like, without hesitation, Josh is thinking about his sweet old grandma. So he's in. And so he comes back that night. Let's talk about night one, John, at this second job. So what's happening? What is Josh agreed to? So it's not making small mozzarella balls. It's right. He's delivering rugs to from a deli that has no rugs inside it.
I mean, I think the one of the things that we love about the mafia is the way that they can say things.
Yes.
But say them in a way that can't implicate them in a course case if it's
right, exactly.
It's reported.
It's all right.
So
rugs and briefcases.
He's not really like, they probably have a little talk and you might think like Josh is getting set up, but when this is going on, like the guy who trained him to make sandwiches, he like gives a thumbs up. He's like, I vouch for this kid. He's a good kid. So we know kind of everybody supports this. He shows up to the deli. He goes in through the back door, and there's a note with some car keys sitting there. And they're like, the van's out back. It's all loaded up. And he looks, and it just looks like a regular van. It doesn't say Gino's Deli on there or anything. It just looks like a regular van. He's like, look, kid, the van's loaded up. Here's the address you're going to take it to. When you get there, unload all the rugs from the back. Keep it nice and tidy. Help them out if they need help moving them. Bring the van back here. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Pretty straightforward. Nothing's really said there. But do you think Josh is the type of person that wants to go look at these? Like, I would assume if I'm Josh, I'm going to go open the back of that van. Okay, it's a bunch of rolled up rugs. Do I want to poke around? Do I want to mess this up? You know what? I'm already going to have to unload them. It's rugs. If I know it's rugs, it's that way.
Exactly right. I think he's just happy. I think he's probably like just truthfully having like a processing problem where it's like, I'm getting paid more. Weird rug job. I like my other job. My boss of my other job is also my boss of this job. Like, I have no other options. Like, why rain in my own parade?
And they've already paid him.
Right. And that's true too. They've already paid him. Now they paid him because this job gets a little dicey, as I think we're about to learn. So it needs to get paid up front in case you don't make it back. But from delivering these rugs. But yeah, they've already paid him too, so he feels like he has to do it. But so yeah, I think he's not asking any questions. And I say every night. I mean, for I don't know, we can figure this out, but for a week, a couple days, like everything is perfect. He just goes, drives the van over to the warehouse, opens it up. He doesn't even have to do a lot of the unloading. A bunch of folks come out of the warehouse, and maybe like some of them are wearing like monk robes or definitely have crosses. So Josh notices that. But he's almost like trying not to notice things, maybe. He's willfully kind of like...
Yes.
Great, yeah.
Like you can almost hear him. He's like, okay, so this is like a weird church clergy
exactly.
that
maybe
does
they give
rug
these
sales.
rugs away for free to the poor who definitely need rugs for the houses they may not have.
We should all at least be able to sleep on a rug. I know that's true. This makes total sense. Maybe one night he should so this we see this evolve kind of quickly in the film. Where Josh is making money now on both ends of this thing, taking care of grandma. His life's kind of leveling up a little bit. Yes. Maybe even his foreign prom date comes into the deli, and in one of his day shifts, and she's like, "Oh, Josh, I didn't know you worked here. We love the sandwich spot."
Right.
And like Vinny, he's like, "Josh is great. He make you the best sandwich you ever had. I'm not even gonna put my hands on the focaccia." So like Josh makes a sandwich for you. He's like, "You know what? You take this home to your lovely 9 kids, and it's on me. Don't even worry about it. It's on me." Like Josh gets some wins,
right?
And he shows up this on one night where we kind of slow this down a little bit, and the note and there's an extra roll because mafia doesn't deal in stacks, but an extra roll. You see 20s rolled up. It's probably close to $1,000 rolled up in a rubber band. He says, "Hey kid, big night tonight. You got a lot of lifting to do, so be careful. We just wanted to say thanks."
I love it.
And so like Josh he goes and he looks, and instead of the normal like 5-6 rugs rolled up, now we're like to the roof of this van. It's full. Like,
I love it.
A lot of poor people are going to be getting rugs now thanks to Josh.
High demand and old rolled up rugs, I guess. I like that. And so, okay. And so how about this? So he gets there, right. And he's having to move more. And maybe he notices like all the people working at the warehouse, maybe a little panicked, a little quicker, less conversational. Just let's go. Let's get him in. Let's get him in. We don't have much time. And Josh is kind of like, time for what? Like, who needs these rugs? But he's trying to like really not think too much about anything that's going on.
You guys really love rugs.
Right. And in like the commotion of moving more of these rugs out of the back of this van, perhaps like let's say a cross that we talked about in the Fast Five falls out of one of these rugs. And Josh like sees it, but again, he's trying to like not see stuff. So he's like oh God, what's that? I just won't say anything. I got more rugs to move.
Kicks it under the van.
And then I'll just, I gotta go. I gotta, I'll get out of here and I'll do what I'm supposed to do. I'm not supposed to touch any crosses and my job is rugs. I don't want to be that guy who's like, what's this cross? And then I end up in a rug. You want to just kind of drive the van and move the rugs and not become a rug yourself. So that proves to be a fatal mistake. So like now in terms of the movie, I guess like two things could happen. It could be that like Josh gets away and leaves, and then for the first time we maybe follow that rug that had the cross fall out of it into this warehouse, and as the audience we see this warehouse for the first time.
Love this.
And it's like tons of lights, lots of monks, lots of people that aren't monks but clearly Italian, if I can say that.
Like reading from the Bible in Latin.
There we go.
Like,
okay, cool. Yep.
Constantly like saying prayers.
Right, that thing. And then like maybe like and so there's tables set up and like lots of knives and other like old relic looking things inside.
Lots
this
of gold
warehouse.
bowls.
A huge fireplace with like flaming, not fireplace, like an incinerator with a bunch of rugs in it. And then a bunch of tables lined up, huge human-sized tables lined up, and at the end of the warehouse, like where the lights are flickering for some reason, is like this huge. It could be like a sarcophagus almost, and it could, imagine it however you like. Maybe it
like
looks
a tomb,
Egyptian,
sorta.
maybe it's just like maybe it's not. It's just this huge kind of
Roman.
Yeah, it could be Roman, sure. Clearly ancient, kind of out of place, tied down with chains, and like two guys with guns are next to it, and crosses and stakes. Not the kind you eat, the kind you stab with.
Maybe the kind you eat.
Maybe both. Eating a steak, holding a steak. And yeah, so we're seeing all this as the audience for the first time, like, holy crap, this clearly is not some rug donation center. Something else is going on here. And they start to unfurl some of the rugs, and these like bodies fall up, but they don't look human. They look human-ish, but like maybe scaly skin or contorted faces, and like it becomes very clear as like the monks move up to them that are kind of like frozen. These bodies like not moving, kind of look dead, but also kind of look like they're maybe just stuck in like a screaming expression. And reading from the Bible, like, all right, we're probably dealing with some kind of demonic something here. And so that happens to a bunch of the rugs, open them up, creepy demon creature thing on the table, read from it, stab it, start draining this like black blood out of it into a bucket. And they're bringing these buckets back, and that's like kind of, and the bucket's vibrating and being crazy, and the monks have to be the ones that hold the buckets only, and they're moving them to this tomb where there's this like trench almost, the front of it, the top of it, whatever, and they are dumping these buckets of this gross demon blood into this tomb. And so that's happening for 3, 4, 5 rugs. Then we catch up with that rug that had the cross fall out of it, and as they open it up, the demon like jumps out of it and like smacks the monk away. So we're kind of learning by seeing that like maybe these demons aren't dead or whatever. It's not really that important, but these crosses are crucial to keeping them kind of frozen in this state so that these monks can do whatever they're doing with them safely. And so that's obviously shit has just hit the fan. This demon jumps up, and it's a demon. It's, super strong. It's pissed off. It starts smacking monks around, and people are getting hurt, trying to shoot at it. Maybe its skin burns a little bit from some of the guns, which is kind of interesting. And then it opens up like, let's say 4 other rugs with demons that are frozen in
knocks the crosses off, and as the mafia guys start shooting at him, when these bullets seem to have some impact, they kind of say some demon curses at him, some things blow up, and they just run off into the night. And like the brothers like jumping out, covered in blood, jumping on the phone, calling Paulie or whoever, like, it's happened, like they're out, 5 are out. And so this, like, we see, I love this. We see all this happen in the movie, and this is where we learn what's in the rugs, and hopefully didn't expect that what's in the rugs are demons.
Yes.
Demons. You see one of the mafia soldiers called Paulie. It's happened.
Yeah.
And Josh's cell phone starts ringing. It's not an iPhone. It's like we're back in like Motorola StarTAC or like Nokia phone. So you can't just text or anything. Not that Paulie would text.
No.
It's a call from Paulie.
Yeah.
And Josh is still driving, and you can't talk and drive at the same time back then. I don't know if you can now, but you sure as hell do. So anyways, he's like, well, I got to get it. It's Paulie. So he's like, hey, Paulie, I just made the delivery. What could I do for you? Like,
what's up?
You got to get to the deli, kid. You got to get to the deli. Something went wrong.
Right.
So now Josh is like, I should just cut. Should I cut and run? Is it something to do with the cross shit? And he's looking for the cross on him. And okay, maybe they're just mad that they didn't get the cross. Maybe they're just smuggling. I don't know. So I gotta go see Paulie.
Right.
Gotta take the van back anyways. Gets to the deli. And there's like all the guys that he works with are there. This never happens. Like everybody's there.
Shit, what did I do?
Come on in, kid. We got to talk. And he's like, shit, please don't kill him.
And me.
So he
don't want to be a rug.
Paulie's sitting down. He's got a little meat and cheese plate in front of him.
Of course.
He's sitting down at the checkered tablecloth table. And he's like, kid, come have a sit. We got to talk.
Right.
And so this is when we learn a little bit about the history.
What the hell's
He's
going
like,
on, right?
All right, kids. So you probably heard about the 5 families in New York. All that's just a publicity scheme for the mafia.
Wow.
Let me tell you about back in the old world in Sicily. What the mafia was created for was to protect our own families from these creatures of the night, demons you probably call them. So the mafia works really to suppress these demons, and he starts going off on like a history story throughout time, and then the demons came to America. So of course the mafia had to come to America, and Cleveland's one of the big cities. Like Carlo Gambino, who you probably have heard of, was one of the descendants of the families that originally were fighting these demons. Wow. There's one demon that's been here on Earth since the inception, since Adam and Eve. He goes by the name of Giuliano.
There we go.
The mafia's worst enemy.
I love it. He was the snake. Right. They caught him. I love that.
So Giuliano, we've been keeping him in this. We've been keeping him in this stasis by feeding him the blood of other demons. Sometimes people that needed to go away, but mostly. Mostly we've been feeding him full of all this demon blood, and it's enough to keep him at bay. Now what happened tonight might not have been your fault, kid. We're not saying it was your fault, but you did something when one of the demons there was able to wake up. So why I'm telling you this, if Giuliano decides to get his power back, the world, as all of us know it, is over. Kaput. No more focaccia. No more grandma cancer medicine. Everything is gone.
Things gone.
So he kind of like loosely explains to Josh, he's like, if Giuliano is able to capture, kill, consume the souls of, let's say, 5 people, then he'll reach a point where it's kind of like the point of no return. He'll reach his full state. So we have a little bit of time.
Right. And technically, he hasn't even escaped yet. So Giuliano. So I think if I'm picking up what you're putting down, Giuliano is the one that's in that tomb, and so we could even like maybe half the family's at the deli, the other half is standing there with like guns ready at the tomb. Maybe some are out trying to capture demons. Like we got to if we give him some blood, he will stay asleep.
Yes,
they fail.
Nice.
They can't.
Okay.
Like, and he just like you just see him kind of wake up in the tomb because the blood drip's gone and blast through and he's like a larger than life kind of demon, not like a huge giant, but like he's just a big scary demon human kind of thing. Busts out of there and like knocks all the guns out of everybody's hand and trying to stop him, like immediately evades that situation. So like they were hoping to contain him some other way in that warehouse, but like he's out, and like maybe that happens as he's telling Josh. They're like on the radio listening to the warehouse, and it's just like gunfire, like he's out, it's G, he's out, and then it just goes dead. and then we get to see like him blast out of the roof into the night. Maybe he can fly. Like he looks like a human, but wears a trench coat when he's a human because he got wings.
Demon.
Totally. Yep, nailed it. Those trench coats.
50% of the people you see wearing a trench coat are demons.
Absolutely. The other half trying to sell you watches. Trust neither group. But yeah. So Big G's out. So they were like hopeful that maybe they would contain this tonight. But they're like, no, if he's out, and if he eats or kills or sucks the souls of, like, let's say 5 people, like he'll be invincible forever.
Okay, I like that.
Ruin the world. But like,
I was a little overzealous in my mafia demon explanation, but thanks for tying it into the movie.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's the perfect backstory. It ties a lot. It makes love that the mafia is getting this treatment of, we're here to save you from all the demons of the world. They should pay us. They should hire us as PR people. But doing all the good that no one else is brave enough to do. And but that means until he kills his 5th victim, they got like a window here to be able to stop him. But obviously it could disappear tonight. He could go and kill 5 people in the next 20 minutes. Like, so they kind of have to be on the lookout for demon shit going on. And that's kind of like what I imagine, gosh, a lot of the rest of this, the next chunk of this movie, kind of the fun middle part of the movie that's just like chock full of action is, so we're going to say demons can't do anything during the day, or if they are out during the day, have to be humans, can't do stuff. So it's really just at night they're dealing with the demons. And so that's what we get to see. It's like the closed shop, the window, the sign in the window goes from open to close at the deli, and they flip on the police scanner, and they're listening for,
every old Italian has a police scanner.
Right, it's always in. Yeah, that's right. You never know when they may be coming. You need to know.
Are you talking about Michael? Is that Sarah's brother?
Is he in trouble again? And they got guys around town in Cadillacs driving around looking for him. Okay, great. And trying to, look for these demons. But a tried and true method is kind of like, if we hear, something kind of odd on the police scanner, like, I just got a report from some guy eating someone's face in a park. That's probably where the demons are tonight.
Bath salts haven't got to Cleveland yet.
Right.
Yeah, a couple of tips and tricks about, like, because now we know these sandwich makers are also like born and bred demon hunters that just so happen to like a good sandwich.
Who doesn't?
So
I could use one right now.
The guys kind of talk like, look, one giveaway is that all the dogs are going to be going nuts. Like, if there's a bunch of dogs going nuts, that's a demon.
Okay.
The demons, like, one of the things that we do have in common with them is a demon can't resist a good garlic.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, you may see garlic for the vampire hunters. It doesn't hurt the demons, but we use garlic to kind of lure them out. So it's one of the tricks we use to know how to find them. That's how we get so many rugs every night.
I love that. All right, cool. So we're learning kind of some tips, some tricks. And yeah, so like night 1, they go out. So now the demons, it's like these 5 demons and Big G, the Giuliano, the main demon. So 6 in total. And they're kind of a crew looking for their first victim. And like, that could be what happens night 1 is like they attack some person jogging through a park, kill him. And so already night 1, Giuliano has victim number 1. But let's say it's late enough where the sun starts coming up and they got to disappear and hide under a bridge or whatever they got to do during the day. I know they're not vampires, but like, they're also
turn into people.
Right. Yeah. Turn into
people. Go
people.
Sell stocks and hedge funds.
Right. Exactly. I'll call you about your student loans. Try to sell extended warranties on your car. All that stuff. So they're kind of inactive during the day. So night 1 is the night they all escape, already a victim. So by night number 2, they've already got 4 more people, and Giuliano is going to be invincible. And maybe like at this point, as they're sitting there listening to the scanner on that second night, and Josh is just, he's there at the deli still listening to the scanner. 2 of the other guys are talking amongst each other, and they're like, we should tell him, we shouldn't tell him, we should tell him, no, we shouldn't. And so finally Paulie's like, I'll do it. Paulie's like, listen, don't freak out. But
No, wait, Paulie would say it like an Italian.
Hey, fuck. hey. All I can hear is Marlon Brando now. My son, Josh,
perfect.
my boy. I can't. It's gone. I had it at the beginning. Now it's just
You
a
wanna put an
guy who
orange in your
smokes
mouth?
90 cigarettes. That's all my Italian man is. You're gonna have to do the Italian stuff, John. But essentially, what they need to tell Josh is that one of the demons that escaped, they took it upon themselves to try to figure out if a demon was responsible for Josh's grandma's cancer, and it was. So they captured it, and we're going to feed it to Giuliano, but it was one of the ones that escaped. So now they're like, hey, we got to tell you this. Hey, we got to let you know your grandma.
That's good.
she was one of the demons. We had him. We caught him, but now he escaped. He was the one giving a kid, whatever. Cancer. So that makes things a little more intense, and obviously Josh is already invested, but he's like, all right, shit, we got to catch him. And so we don't need to go into every detail, but I would say like for the next, 4 nights, 3 nights, they're listening to the scanner. People are on the streets trying to catch them, and they just keep coming up short. They'll get there, they'll hear it. If on the scanner, it's too late. Maybe one night they catch
get
them.
one, but
Exactly.
another one.
And I was
They're
gonna
like,
say,
Josh, you want to come out with us tonight?
Right. There we go. I like that. Like Josh is kind of freaking out. Like, I'm sitting here listening to this. I should be out there hunting them. And so he takes a few guys out one night, and they do catch them. They're like, you said garlic, right? And they go to the garlic factory. They go to
This is true of all Italians. They go to Josh's. Josh is like, I got a bunch, and he goes to his house and he pulls out from the fridge this like jar of pre-minced garlic.
Right.
And
Like,
it's a moment of comedy because the Italian goes, "What are
you doing?
What are you doing? That's not marron. That's not garlic that you eat. That's not garlic I give my dog." So the Italian guy just like reaches into his double-breasted jacket pocket.
Right.
He's like, "This
Pulls out
is
a
a
clove.
garlic." He
Yep.
like smashes it in his hand and shoves it in Josh's face.
Yep,
It's like,
I love it.
She's like, "Oh my god,
You idiot. Oh, that's amazing.
real
So-
garlic."
Right, but so I agree. I think they try to catch them. They do. So they get to see kind of these like weapons start to work, and Josh learns more about how to catch them and trick them and all this stuff. And so maybe each night they do kind of either get there too late, but still kill a demon, get there as it's happening, but then kill a demon, and the demons are successful later. So the kind of takeaway is that every night they're fighting these demons. Every night they get to kill one of them, but a human victim is also claimed. So they're still not stopping Giuliano from
buying a little bit of time.
Right,
but
exactly. And kind of maybe learning a little bit more about them and getting better kind of each time they encounter them, where less of them are getting hurt and they're becoming more effective at stuff.
This goes on is like the mid part of the movie, which would have more fun scenes like the minced garlic and like
I
an
love that.
action sequence of the mafia fighting a bunch of dogs going wild and the
Right.
mafia trying to fight this demon.
Exactly.
And as it gets up towards the last demon, like Josh's grandma has been getting increasingly sicker.
Yeah.
Like the medicine was helping. The fact that the mafia actually captured the demon was a big help, and now he's back and he's haunting his grandma. And so when we come up to like the last, G's got one more human he needs.
Right.
The mafia and everybody kind of assumes like their sayer, their truth seer, or whatever that would be in the mafia, their consigliere. He's like, look, we have every reason to believe that the last victim is going to be your grandma. And she's back in the hospital. We got her in the Cleveland Clinic.
Oh, okay.
You think, or maybe she's at home.
Okay.
She's still she's at home. We don't need to introduce another hospital. This is the motivations of the heart.
Hospital showdown.
But she's getting worse, and we assume the last victim, because demons love to be sick fucks like this,
Right.
is going to be your grandma, and that's what's
Right.
going to end the world.
Right.
So
And maybe they even know that like the demon that's left with Giuliano is their grandma's demon. They're like kind of tracking which ones they're killing. They're like, nah, it wasn't. He's still out there. So they're hunting Big Giuliano, but also hunting this demon.
Yeah, like they captured pedophile demon one night. They captured beat your wife demon the other night, but they haven't got cancer demon. They haven't got
cancer
back.
demon yet. Right, and so this is it. So this is the last night, and so they're pulling all the stops, and there can be this fun scene of like grabbing duffel bags full of guns and taking it to the church and getting that all blessed, because that's all you need to kill demons is have a priest bless whatever you want to kill him with, and boom, you've got now a demon killing weapon. So and they make the drastic decision to close the deli that day. Everyone got to get some sleep and prepare for the battle that night, but they still come in and eat their sandwiches before they
we gotta have some cold cuts.
That's right. Come on, you gotta. And so they're setting up for this final kind of showdown. This scene in the like going to the Catholic church down the road with the duffel bags full of weapons in the confessional booth. Yep.
The priest is blessing them. Meanwhile, Paulie's back at the closed deli. First time it's been closed since it's open, and Paulie's like hand making mozzarella.
I love it.
Like this is gonna be a special, like almost like Jesus and the disciples in the Last Supper, where they're like all of a sudden at the deli there's like one giant checkered tablecloth table, and everybody sits down for Paulie to break out pieces of the cheese.
I love it, with their guns and their crosses and their stakes and their awesome leather jackets.
This scene. This is such a beautiful shot.
A lot of slow-mo happening, a lot of eating of cheese and meat, and some laughter, some wine probably.
For sure.
Sure. And getting ready to go to battle. It's a battle. This is it. And so knowing the only benefit of not getting Giuliano yet and this last demon, the cancer demon, is they kind of do know that it's grandma is got to be the last target. Like this cancer demon is set itself to kill his grandma. Like it won't be satisfied till that happens. So why not take Giuliano right to her? So they're like, all right, we're going to set a trap. We'll go to your house. All the guys will be there, and we're just gonna wait. Your grandma will be fine. And Josh is like, well, can't we move her? Can't we? Like, no, like wherever she is, they're gonna find her. It's not about that.
He's already got the scent,
and you know your house. Like, you can show us where to hide. We can have advantage. We can have home field advantage here. Like, and I don't want to be in a hostel. I want to be somewhere else where we're dealing with other people. Like, let's keep it here and let's finish this tonight. And so Josh is terrified, but like, again, like, all right, well, this is it. I'm already in. Like, I got to do this, and it's a big moment for him to kind of take that step of basically entering the big leagues of his life. He never got to do it for baseball, but now everything he cares about is on the line, and he's actually caring about it, not shoving those feelings down and pretending he doesn't.
Yeah, Josh is old, but he's growing up in this scene.
Right, exactly. Yeah, big time.
The mafia guys are like taking some like, hey, remember when you were like state champion? But is this the baseball that you had on the wall when they're like looking at his house and everything?
Yep.
And no one ever. We've been fighting this demon for 1,000 years. There's a reason everybody knows the mafia and no one knows about demons. And one of the other guys like, actually, a lot of people know.
Yeah, you know what I mean, though. Right.
Shut up, Vinny.
Right. I was talking too much. Okay, this is awesome. So this is it, the final scene, and it could be just as simple as like they don't know like what's it going to be like, or the dog's going to bark. So what's gonna clue them into them coming, and maybe like his grandma was doing a little bit better since the demon had left her and is running around town with Giuliano, but now like as they're sitting, hiding, waiting to spring on these demons, like her heart rate goes up and her machines start beeping a little bit. And at first, Josh is like, oh, let me go check that out, make sure everything's okay. And Paulie or Vinny, whoever grabs it, he's like, no, it's happening. Like, they're here. They're, hey.
Italian 101. Hey. I mean, that's honestly, that's
right. They're here. Everyone smells like
a lot of maroons and cheap perfume.
He's eating a smoked meat log, quietly chewing in the corner.
Hey, kid, it's maroon. You got more of that mozzarella?
So, it's about to go down.
And everything is in place, and the mobster deli guys are like all in their places, and Paulie sees the machines. He's like, hey, we're gonna take this We're going to take this. I can't think of a swear word in Italian that I'm allowed to say anymore.
Got it. This cheese ball.
We're going to take this cheese ball down. Perfect. And so just as that's about to happen, you hear like a ding in the kitchen, and almost by magical force, the oven door pops open, and the whole little apartment that we live in, Josh and his grandma, just begins to fill with fresh Sunday gravy smell and garlic and focaccia.
Yeah.
And you notice as you like take a wide shot of the room that all the mafia guys start just like panning over to their left.
Okay.
And out of this like magical oven comes a casserole of fresh manicotti.
Okay.
And the sauce is bubbling and the cheese and like almost like they've been captured by the spirit of a demon.
Okay. Yes.
They just kind of begin abandoning their posts and start walking to the kitchen. And then Josh looks and we see like there's nothing in the oven. It's just a hot oven.
Right.
But all of the mafia guys are like pulled away from their stations
like
into the kitchen.
Song. Yeah.
Yes, like a siren song of manicotti. And Josh is like, "Oh crap, what's happening? Like it doesn't affect me the same way. I guess I'm not Italian."
Right, exactly. Yes.
But like all of his his compatriots, all of his soldiers, all the experience is literally walking out of the room past him. Like, "Hey, keep an eye out, kid. We'll be right. We're just gonna check on something really quick. I gotta get."
Doing?
He's like one of like Vinny's like pulling a fork out of his jacket pocket.
I got a bib on. Yep, exactly.
I just gotta check on one thing, and they're all like huddling around like zombies around the oven. So they're effectively like Giuliano has incapacitated.
Yep, use their strength, food against them. I love that. I love this. So this is a hell of a twist. So now essentially, all the plans are out the window again. Josh is left with nothing but curveballs. Something a star pitcher knows a thing or two about.
Nice pun.
So he's like, oh shit, and then Giuliano appears with the other creepy demon, and maybe just bumps through the door, jumps out of the chimney, whatever, jumps out of the oven for real. Some cool entrance, and starts monologuing to Josh Hart as he kind of creeps towards his grandma about how, I ruined your whole life. Like, I've been here forever. I know you better than know yourself. Like, I knew you'd always fail. I let you love baseball so I could take it away.
Yeah, I was there when you slipped on second base.
Right, I helped you slip. Right, the other creepy cancer demon just laughing, hunched over next to him. And Josh is yelling for Paulie and other guys. Like, it's happening. It's here. Like, do it, launch, someone shoot, someone throw a stake, somebody help me. And nothing's happening. And then Giuliano smacks him out of the way. Josh tries to fight, but no match for an almost fully formed demon at this point and an assistant. And it could be that the little creepy other little cancer demon, they just move right towards his grandma who's asleep in the bed. All her machines are beeping and blaring, and the lights are flickering, and things are going crazy. And it looks like it's all over. Like, this is it. Like, Josh is being held down by creepy cancer demon. Giuliano's moving towards, what do you got?
As you're building this up, maybe a way out for Josh. Like, the machines are beeping. They're effectively almost keeping his grandma alive at this point.
They are.
And Josh follows this in a long shot, and he sees it's an overloaded extension cord that all the machines are plugged into.
Yes.
And for a moment, Josh thinks if I end my grandma first, maybe the demon can't
save her soul from forever.
It might not save us all, but maybe I can save my grandma.
Right. So he's contemplating that, this horrible choice of do I kill my grandma or let these demons do it? And he can't bring himself to do that to his grandma. He loves her too much, and maybe there's a nice flashback of all the the pies she made for him and the games she drove him to and the birthdays they had together and this lovely little life they had forever. And Josh he just can't. He maybe even reaches for it and backs away, and at that moment as he's moving his hand away, hears a ka-thump and a roll of what is clearly a ball. and like from out of maybe his grandma's bed, the sheets, under the bed, we don't know, but definitely within Josh's reach, maybe even bumps right into his hand, is his the ball, his baseball that was earlier on blessed by the town priest. And he remembers back to earlier in the night or the other day when they blessed all the guns, and the priest is like, anything we bless is a weapon. And he's like, holy shit, I'm basically holding a hand grenade in my hand right now for Giuliano. And so like he manages to, at this point, the cancer demon kind of is like ignoring him, ready to jump on Grandma as well. As Giuliano's like, I prepare myself to return to rule this world and send it into the darkness.
Still monologuing.
Of 1,000 years. And he's getting all excited.
No more pepperoni. No more hot capicola. No more Genoa salami.
Right, this horrible world without smoked meats and cured meats and
life.
Only American cheese and craft singles. And Josh just stands up and launches a howitzer of a fastball right into this demon's head, and like it could be as simple as like blows him up and he dies, or like knocks him down. Certainly hurts Giuliano, and that might be enough to like break the curse too of the magical invisible Italian food. And so all of Paulie and the gang are like, what the hell are we doing? And turn around and see Giuliano there, and they light him up with all their guns and forks and stuff.
9mm.
Exactly right. Yep, all that stuff starts flying Giuliano's way. And so this amazing turn where the baseball saves the day, the holy baseball of Josh's from his past that rolls to him at the right moment, saves everybody. And then all the Italian guys get to join in on the final glory and shoot this dude down and stab him down and kill the other demon. And
I absolutely love this. The best movie we've ever made. So we not only do we save Grandma and avoid pulling her life support, literally pulling the plug on her.
That was a great ad.
We get Giuliano, the demon that's just been kind of kept at bay by feeding it other demons. Yeah. We get Giuliano destroyed. And the cancer demon, so Grandma can start coming back.
Yes.
Vinny takes out yet another garlic from his suit. He's like, "This is yours now, kid. Right. You're one of us."
Yes.
And he's like, "Well, is that it? Are we done now?" And Paulie's like, "Look, kid. As long as I've known, there's always going to be demons around.
Right.
We got plenty of rugs for you to move, kid.
Right.
But I think at this point, you're kind of like family."
Right. Yes.
Which means we need you to pitch for our ball team.
Hey. Right. Oh my gosh. I love that. I love this. This is a perfect ending for Josh where so now he started as a down on his luck kind of loner, only had his grandma to call a friend, and now he's got a job, he's playing baseball again, he's got this whole Italian family that's accepted him in as his own, and he gets to make money killing demons every night, which is a risky business. He still takes the money up front so that Grandma can, have what she needs to live a comfortable life. But yeah, he's sandwiches and hoagies by day and kills demons by night.
Love this. There's so many, Josh maybe can live above the deli with Grandma.
Right,
maybe
sure.
Paulie's like, actually, Grandma's not too bad looking. Maybe she comes over, I do a little pasta and meatballs, do a little fagioli. But maybe there's 100 ways this can just turn into kind of a happier ending.
Right.
But I
and
think
9 other movies.
The next story is like Paulie and Grandma.
Right, in their courtship, a lot of Lady and the Tramp spaghetti and meatball nights for them. In the future, maybe, but
she's like, "I made you spaghetti and broccoli."
Right.
Like,
a lot to learn. I guess. Yeah, I like this. So that's it, right? Are we free? The demons are dead.
I think we did. The demons are dead. There's still demons. There's still
of course,
a living to be made by
demons.
Josh. But the overarching story is he started really, really down on his luck. And he ended with a family, a healthy grandma, a good paying job, some good meat, good bread, good cheese. So yeah,
it.
things are coming up roses. Things are coming up salami for
Coming
Josh
up,
now.
exactly right. Salami and baseballs. That's all you need. And friends and grandma being alive and dead demons.
Yeah, dead demons, keep grandma alive. Maybe pay a visit to Sally and let her know that she actually missed out.
Right.
Or
So
Sarah or whatever. I
her
can't even remember her
stupid
name is anymore. It
not
doesn't even
important.
matter.
She'll be in the stands watching him beat her husband's baseball team who plays for the vegan cafe or whatever. Some stupid,
the
crappy,
arch rivals.
not much anything wrong with the vegan, but whatever. Obviously the Deli baseball team's winning
You can't
that
call
game.
that cheese.
Right, that's not cheese. Get out of here.
All the
With your
Italians are
nuts.
there eating their just grease
Exactly
all
right.
over the place.
All over the place. And people are slipping with their oat milk latte, splash them in the face. So yeah, that would be a fun ending, but we did it. So the hustle is weird, but the hustle is worth it. As long as you got, I don't know, sandwiches in your blood and demons on the end of your steak.
Carpet it up.
That's right. Rugs for days. It's all rugs all the way down.
So thanks for watching. This is one of my favorite movies that we've built on this podcast so far. I really enjoyed it. I love Harrison's Italian. Every movie we do now is going to be mafia movies. Italians are like a resilient group.
You're right. They're not going to care.
They're okay. I think I'll speak for all of us. We're okay with getting recognized. And in this case, I think it paints us in a pretty good light with a little bit of true stereotype.
Good.
So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you thought. Could we have done this with a Polish mafia?
Right.
Would that have even worked? It might have been fun.
Too many pierogies.
Exactly. Which steak? Oh, man, not again.
Right.
But thanks for watching. We'll see you next week with another Fast Five where we're going to dig through your beers. We're going to riff on them, and we're going to find the next. The hustle is
weird.
What was this called?
Weird.
The hustle is weird.
Yeah, but until then,
peace.
Punch.
And give me your sandwich.
Oh, dang it. Sorry, good. I would like a sandwich. I'm so hungry.